What's up, guys? It's been a while. It's Taylor from AfrofishOG, and today I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about my experience when I just went to my first Colossal Con North, which is located in Wisconsin Dells. Now, Colossal Con is an anime gaming convention located in the Kalahari this year, and it's to sum it up real like this, the short version, it was a really good time. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot overall to just enjoy when it came to Colossal Con. I like anime conventions. I do. I love gaming conventions. They're fun. They're enjoyable. I went to Anime Milwaukee early this year, and then they had another one, Anime 414, also in Milwaukee in August. So like they kind of space out a little bit because I can't go to every single one. Now, I will say that it was for Colossal Con, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't expect it to be the same as Anime Milwaukee, which was at the Bard Center, and it was huge. It was like 3 floors worth. But I will say that it was smaller yet still big, if that makes sense. They had a lot of panels. There was a lot of panels to go and see. The vending room was still pretty good. I got a really cool sword behind me. I thought it was super overall, just very good environment. It felt clean, and one of the best parts is it fucking smelled decent. I've been to a couple conventions where they don't smell the best, and that's another video I will be doing probably tomorrow. When I went in, and I'll talk about each room here briefly. So I'm going to start with the video game room because that's where I was a lot. So I thought the video game room was really, really well done. It was still a big area, which is nice. They usually have, a lot of arcades, and arcades that are usually just from like Japan and stuff you really probably wouldn't get over here. Even the Mega Man one was still called Rockman. They had like Marvel vs. Capcom, which was still pretty cool. A bunch of like dance DDR and like games like In the Groove, which is just not DDR games. A couple Vocaloid ones. House of the Dead, because House of the Dead is just it has to be like a pinball game. Then they had a really interesting one. I didn't get a picture of it, but the game was like a big like glowing pad below you, and how you dance. So like if it would say like right, it would have like right foot, and it would determine where your foot was positioned. It was pretty interesting, and it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was pretty winded after that, but it was really, really cool. And so, besides all those, you get into the back part of it, and that's where you got your console games. Now they had console games from PS5, PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, like those kind of eras. But then they also had some really old ones. Like I went and played the original Smash Bros. They had games from like the NES, GameCube, all of them that you could pretty much think of, including a couple computer games. It was really cool. They did have they had some tournaments. I didn't participate. I wanted to participate in the Smash Bros. Tournaments, but then they said you couldn't do any custom controls. So that part kind of bothered me. That was the first tournament I've ever been to that you can't. And so I was like, okay, well, I do use like a bit of custom controls. So like I'm not gonna do that. It's like I said, it's the only tournament I've been to where that's a thing. So I didn't compete in that, but it still was pretty good. It seemed like a lot of people had a lot of fun. The Tekken one is always really extreme. I can't wait. I'm gonna probably end up trying to pick up Tekken 8. It was a lot, but they had a really good turnout. Overall, it was ran very, very well. By people you can definitely tell know what the fuck they're doing. And I will say that part was definitely awesome. Going into like places like the vendor room, which isn't like my biggest place because I typically don't spend a whole lot of money when it comes to like vendor stuff, unless it's something that I'm really, really into. I kind of wish I would have bought. They had a moon veil, like a rubber moon veil greatsword, but I mean, I don't know. People do 3D printing, so maybe I can buy one and get one of those instead. But overall, it was really cool. Like I said, I got a really cool sword. It's just blue, short sword. But they had a lot of the stuff here. What I wasn't as interested in. It was like more plushies or like the posters. of like the anime characters and stuff. They had a couple. It did have a couple like cards, like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, those kind of card games. But most of the stuff I just wasn't really feeling. So for the most part, the vendor room was also connected to the voice actors would be. And this year they had some good voice actors. A lot of them were from JJK. So the voice actors from like Gojo, Itadori was there, Maki I believe was there. They had a lot more JJK voice actors. Including like even some like other guests such as like Jonathan Young was there. He's not a voice actor, he's a musician, but still, that was pretty cool. Now I will say that overall I didn't really go to any of them. I'm not like huge when it comes to the voice acting part. Like I like voice actors and I'll go and I'll talk to them, but that's usually the extent of it, and I'll go with someone else. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get a little nervous around people, so I just don't. But overall the vending room was good. They actually had like three vendor rooms. They had another vendor room which was, maybe it was like for like more like lower, like people who aren't as popular, and then they had a third vendor room kind of off in its own space. But I think that's just because if they would have had an all room, they just would have kept it in one room. There's a lot of really cool costumes. I think one of my favorite ones was there was a Warhammer one, and there was a Sephiroth. This woman who did Sephiroth that did a fantastic job. Also, if Sephiroth was black, I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks so dope. But she did a really good job. The Warhammer did a really good. They did a really good job. And then there was a group that did the Mandalorian, but there was like their own twist on it. Fantastic. It was just overall really, really good. And I'll make sure to have the pictures up and stuff too. Well, in terms of the panels, I didn't hit up a whole lot of the panels. Some of them just don't interest me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I won't go. Like if a panel is like, oh my god, anime trivia or something, I typically just don't go. I don't care enough. Like, you know what I mean? But there was a couple of them. Like one of them was Beyblades. That was a really big one. Like they had their own Beyblade showdown thing, and it was kind of corny. But it was cool. I enjoyed it. It was God, it was so silly. Also, I don't know about y'all, this is a little off tangent, but I don't like how the new Beyblades just blow up so easily. Like, I don't know. I know that's like just the gimmick, but like it feels like the gimmick wears off really quickly. But anyways, they had like, a room where you could go get your pictures taken, and some of the other panels were like watching people eat lasagna. I don't know. God, it's so stupid. There was a one where you could go and like learn how to like use one of the like a Japanese drum. I'm guessing that looked really cool. I should have done it. I kind of regret not. They did have a card game room. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The card game room smelled the worst. Like you would walk past and it was just like, yo. I'm not gonna lie. If you took a shower today, you missed like all the water. The room at least was nice. It was spacious. They did a good job with that. I even learned how to play the Star Wars Unlimited thanks to my friend Kookie Yang for that. But overall, yeah, I would put that as one of the bigger negs there. Also, their rave like sucked. The rave was terrible. It wasn't very fun. I'm not gonna lie. I ended up leaving. Like I saw the rave, walked in, was listening to the music for a little while, and just like this vibe was just so off compared to the other anime raves that I've been to. So overall, I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of wish I was still there. One of the things I love the most about it is the people in the camaraderie and how people are so. People being authentically themselves, and I honestly respect that. It was kind of an eventful for me. I had my own stuff going on at the same time, but it was one of the more like it's just fun to be there. I'm not gonna lie. Like despite my negs of how it might smell sometimes, and it does get busy. Like so, if you're not good with large crowds, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. But it is just. People there all with that common interest, and I had just it was just a really awesome experience there. Colossal Con is good, it's fun. I can't wait for it until hopefully it comes back next year. But until that time, I'm just gonna find other anime conventions to go to and enjoy. If you've ever been to an anime convention, please let me know. I'd love to talk about them. If you were at Colossal Con, please also let me know. And let me know, what's your thoughts on it. I would love to hear it. And as always, I'm Taylor from AfrofishOG, and I'll catch you all in the next one.